Another trade deadline and nothing from Arturas Karnisovas, the general manager for the Chicago Bulls. Once again, the Bulls do nothing at the deadline. This is what, the third time in a row the Bulls do nothing at the deadline? That's crazy. They didn't say, let's trade Alex Caruso, let's trade DeMar DeRozan, or let's try to add on to what we have. You know what they decided to do? Do nothing. I knew when the Bulls won that big game against Minnesota in the regular season, just a couple of days ago, I said, they're going to look at that game and say, you know what, we like our group, we're going to move forward. But where are you moving forward to? I watched the press conference. You know the one thing that Karnisovas didn't say? He didn't say championship. He talked about how competitive the team is, and he talked about how we like our group and all this other bullshit that you hear from Karnisovas all the time. But he did not talk about the path to a championship. He never even used the word championship. You know why? Because he knows, like I know, like you know, that the Bulls aren't going anywhere. Lonzo Ball or not, Zach LaVine or not, this team is not good enough. Can you imagine being a season ticket holder or investing time watching the Bulls knowing that they're just going to stand still? They could have traded Alex Caruso and got a draft pick. They could have done that with DeMar DeRozan as well, because standing still doesn't get you anywhere. Standing still and not doing anything, whether adding on or subtracting, does not get you anywhere. And he's talking about how we like the competitive group that we have, and we like the Chicago Bulls as is. I mean, without Zach LaVine, you know it's an uphill climb. And I love Kobe White, and I love DeRozan. But you have to understand, the teams above them, the 7 or 8 teams above them, it's going to be 9 or 10 teams above them, have talent. They have difference makers. The Bulls have a bunch of players that are try-hard players, but not necessarily players that's going to get you over the hump. I'm very disappointed, again, in the Chicago Bulls. But you know what? Don't blame Arturas Karnisovas, because he's just got the marching orders from Michael Reinsdorf. Michael Reinsdorf is telling him, you know what? We're not going to go in the tax. Absolutely not. You're not competitive, so we're not going to attack, so you just have to deal with what you have. It's so disappointing. If you're a Bulls fan today, you should be pissed off that the Bulls did nothing. They didn't pick a lane. I've been saying on ESPN 1000 for a while now, the Bulls have to pick a lane. Standing still does not get the job done. The Bulls, once again, another trade deadline, not adding, not subtracting. They let the Knicks win the trade deadline. That's exactly what happened. They let the Knicks win. Those teams are better. And the Bulls, standing still, just settling. I mean, you may like the try-hard Bulls, but you know that's not a championship team, not even close to it. They may not be a playoff team, but he will sell you that 14-9 from last year. They got him in the play-in, because to them, that's good enough. He never mentioned the word championship, because the Bulls are that far away from a championship. See the end of that? Yeah, that's how far it is to a championship. You're not even close to where Oklahoma City is. You're not close to where the Celtics are. You're not even close to, where teams in the upper echelon in the East and West are. That is amazing to me. Give me your comments below. Once again, the Bulls just settle. They settle. It's okay. No problem. Nothing at the deadline again for the Bulls.